It is especially appropriate that those of us who are the people of the church in New Hampshire introduce our bishop to the world, because we know him so well, because he has been one of us for so long, because we have come to love him dearly and want to share that love with the world, and because we have chosen him to be our bishop.
I firmly believe that once people meet Gene, that their idea, their perception of him is changed. I believe that there are people who don't like the idea of Gene being our bishop or a bishop. And I believe once you are in his presence, once you spend time with him, once you hear him preach, you watch him interact with others, with the youth, with the people at a coffee hour, you watch him in a meeting, I think people are drawn to him. I think that there is a warmth that he communicates, and I think that people's perceptions can begin to change. I've seen them change.
What I have seen be fulfilled as a result of his becoming our bishop always inevitably reminds me of the phrase from Luke about equipping the saints for ministry. And I have experienced that in my work in the diocese and working at times closely with Gene, and at times merely hearing what kind of work Gene is doing in our diocese. But I feel that we are well equipped for ministry because of his leadership, because of the example that he sets for us, and most of all, because of his personal involvement in the affairs of this diocese.
He's very easy to get in touch with. He's very desirous of making himself known and responding to the cares and concerns of the people who make up the diocese. He's a friend as well as a bishop. He's a good friend as well as a bishop.
It's quite clear that to me that he is very concerned about and puts a priority on responding to his clergy. That if we need to see him about anything, he makes it a priority to at least be in touch with us and to respond to us personally. And that often isn't the case with other bishops who I've served under. And it's great, I mean, it gives one a sense of well-being to know that if I need my bishop, he'll be there for me and he'll be available for me. And I couldn't ask for more.
I see him living out that radical hospitality and infinite respect in his very being, in the welcome and the utter acceptance of everyone, in the love that pours forth from him in every encounter, and the embrace, the welcome he offers by his very nature, by the person he is and is known to be. He welcomes the world.
I've had a lot of encounters on difficult issues that this diocese is going through. And again, what has struck me is that he has not come through as an authority saying, you must do A, B, C, D. He has simply clarified his position and has given leeway. And I was even surprised that on issues in this diocese that I am not comfortable with, theologically and traditionally and culturally from where I come from, that he has actually said to me, listen, whatever decision you make to do, you can count on my support.
In any situation, he continues to be respectful, to be attentive, to be patient, to honor whatever the view is that that person standing across from him might hold. He really is the same whether he's in a setting that adores him or whether he's in a setting that reviles him. He is this kind, faithful man in all of those settings.
I can tell you that in my thinking, when we gather as a family, a diocesan family, it's clergy and spouses genuinely love this person.
I think he is very much beloved here in New Hampshire. I think he is very much trusted as we have entrusted our diocese to his care, and he in turn is very supportive of both lay people and clergy in all aspects of their service to God and their involvement here in the diocese.
I think that I've encountered that there's a perception that our bishop merely uses his position to promote and grandstand the gay issue, and that he's spending all his time writing books or giving talks or being on the television or traveling abroad. But I mean, I happen to know that just A, it isn't true that he's doing that, but B, I know from his schedule that he actually spends most of his time doing the bread and butter work of what any bishop would do in any diocese anywhere in the world. That he is out, doing parish visitations. He is out, doing confirmations. He is out meeting with clergy. He set up different what he calls mission centres around the diocese, where he makes himself available. I think it's on a monthly basis, where clergy or lay people can go and visit him. So, I mean, I've never heard of any diocese doing that. I mean, it may be the case, but he makes himself available to people so that they can go and meet him and be with him.
He creates a sense of opportunity where we don't have to worry about scarcity, where we don't have to think in terms of competition. And that's the kind of fruit that this bishop's tenure has borne already.
I care deeply about this man. He's given me examples of the impact that a good bishop can have on his flock.
I'm just very grateful as a lifelong Episcopalian to have lived long enough to see this happen. And I feel honored to be in the diocese that has this man as bishop. It gives me hope for the church that it will continue to grow and flourish.
He has given us a challenge in the church as someone who is prepared to come into the open on an issue that a lot of church leaders are not prepared to talk about. I may not agree with him, but I feel put to shame that this man is prepared to come into the open and say, this is who I am, when maybe a lot of us are hiding a lot of issues and assuming that people see us in a different light. And I'm tempted to actually think, here is a man who says what he is and is prepared to hear other people's reactions and work with them, not necessarily because they agree or they disagree, but be prepared to work side by side with them as they go through the difficult issues.